The value of money depends on how much people want it, and government can create money at any time. Usually, central banks meet every few months to decide whether to adjust the money supply, but if the situation is urgent, they can ramp things up immediately. But if we talk about Bitcoin, it does not have banks or boards. So the question is, how then does it decide how much money to print through the process that is no halving? If we back to 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto.
The main reason I'm here is to clear my name that I have nothing to do with Bitcoin, nothing to do with developing. I was just an engineer doing something else.
Who is the creator of Bitcoin had a plan, what if, took humans out of the financial equation entirely and made new money on a schedule that would last over 100 years. Well, it might be boring, so let the people trust the system, since they could make money with long-term plans without any tension about unexpected changes as sudden. Well, for Bitcoin to be valuable, it needed to be secure, such as gold. So the founder of Bitcoin set the range of it in supply, and thanks for halving, which is a long, predictable rate. Every 4 years, the block reward for Bitcoin miners is cut in half in an event that is called a Bitcoin halving. Halving does exactly what it sounds like. It cuts that fixed income in half. And when the mining reward falls, so does the number of new Bitcoins entering the market. That means the supply of coins available to satisfy demand grows more slowly. In simple words, the Bitcoin halving is a programmed event that decreases the reward for mining new coins by 50% approximately every 4 years, ultimately limiting the total supply of Bitcoin, akin to the scarcity of gold. The aim behind this process of Bitcoin's protocol is to uphold the value proposition as a decentralized, fixed, and unchangeable monetary system, even while different factors outside of the halving affect its performance. Well, if we talk about Bitcoin mining, it is the process by which people use computers or mining hardware to participate in Bitcoin's blockchain network as transaction processors and validators. Miners receive rewards and transaction fees. However, Bitcoin uses a system known as proof of work to validate transaction information because it solves the cryptographic puzzle which acts as proof that work was done. Well, what happens when Bitcoin halves? So the term halving, as it relates to Bitcoin, concerns how many tokens are rewarded. This acts as a way to simulate diminishing returns, theoretically intended to raise demand. As I said, Satoshi Nakamoto set a limit on its supply, and no doubt, limited supply is one of the key features of Bitcoin. However, only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist, and more than 19.5 million of them have already been mined, leaving fewer than 1.5 million left to pull from. So long as demand remains the same, or that demand climbs faster than supply, Bitcoin prices should rise as halving limits output. That is why some argue that Bitcoin can counteract inflation, but still, experts stress that future gains are never guaranteed. So if we talk about how often halving occurs, per Bitcoin's code, halving occurs after the creation of every 210,000 blocks where transactions are recorded during the mining process. That's true, for there are no calendar dates set in stone, but that divvies out to roughly once every 4 years. Now you must be thinking that will halve impact the price of Bitcoin, right? So here I must say, only time will tell this fact. Following each of the 3 previous halvings, the price of Bitcoin was mixed in the first few months and wound up significantly higher 1 year later. But as investors well know, past performance is not an indicator of future results. Adam Morgan McCarthy, the research analyst, said, "I don't know how significant we can say halving is just yet. The sample size of 3 previous halvings isn't big enough to say it is going to go up 500% again, or something." At the time of the last halving in May 2020, for example, Bitcoin's price stood at around 8,600 tours, according to CoinMarketCap, and climbed almost 7-fold to nearly 56,705 by May 2021. Bitcoin prices nearly quadrupled a year after July 2016's halving and shot up by almost 80 times 1 year out from Bitcoin's first halving in November 2012. Experts like McCarthy stress that other bullish market conditions contributed to those returns. Friday's halving also arrives after a year of steep increases for Bitcoin. As of Friday night, Bitcoin's price stood at 60,977 per coin market cap. That's down from the all-time high of about $73,750 hit last month, but still double the asset's price from a year ago. Much of the credit for the recent rally of Bitcoin is given to the early success of a new way to invest in the asset spot Bitcoin ETFs, which were only approved by US regulators in January. According to a research report by crypto fund manager Bitwise, these spot ETFs, short for exchange-traded funds, saw 12.1 billion in inflows during the first quarter. Ryan Rasmussen is the senior research analyst. He also said growing ETF demand paired with the supply shock resulting from the coming halving could help propel the price of Bitcoin. We would expect the price of Bitcoin to have a strong performance over the next 12 months, he said. Rasmussen notes that he's seen some predicted gains reaching as high as 400,000, but the more consensus estimate is closer to the $100,000 to $175,000 range. However, the first reward for Bitcoin halving was 50 Bitcoin. Previous halving dates were on November 28, 2012, to 25 Bitcoins, July 9, 2016, to 12.5 Bitcoins, May 11, 2020, to 6.35 Bitcoins, and 10 to April 2024. And the price of Bitcoin held steady at about 63,907. Bitcoin is the world's largest cryptocurrency, and on Friday it completed its halving, a phenomenon that happens roughly every 4 years, is a cryptocurrency data and analysis company. Even, it was fairly stable immediately afterward, falling 0.47% to 63,747. Bitcoin enthusiasts had eagerly waited for the halving, that is a change to the cryptocurrency's underlying technology, designed to cut the rate at which new Bitcoins are created. Now everyone is thinking about whether will BTC go up after halving. So, only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist, and more than 19.5 million of them have already been mined, leaving fewer than 1.5 million left to pull from. So long as demand remains the same or climbs faster than supply, Bitcoin prices should rise as halving limits output. As JP Morgan said, "We do not expect Bitcoin price increases post-halving as it has been already priced in. They expect Bitcoin's price to fall after the halving because it is overbought and venture capital funding for the crypto industry has been subdued this year." Financial regulators have long warned that Bitcoin is a high-risk asset with limited real-world uses. Even more, have started to approve Bitcoin-linked trading products. Andrew O'Neill is also a crypto analyst at S&P Global. Recently, he said, somewhat skeptical of the lessons that can be taken in terms of price prediction from previous halvings. It's only one factor in a multitude of factors that can drive price. Although Bitcoin has struggled for direction since March's record high and fallen in the last 2 weeks, as geopolitical tensions and expectations that central banks will keep rates higher for longer unnerved global markets. The CEO of Real Vision, Raul Real, said in a recent interview with Altcoin Daily,
"Crypto is growing at twice the speed of the internet in terms of adoption."
He outlined a $1 million Bitcoin price projection. He said, let's say it goes from 175% a year, where it's been trending, and goes to 43% a year, which is what the internet did from year 8 onwards. He also said, well, crypto gets to 1 billion people by the end of next year, 1 billion active wallets, and it gets to 4 billion by 2030. Well, at 4 billion wallets, the price will certainly be $1 million. But it's difficult to pinpoint the exact adoption rate of crypto around the world. However, Bitcoin is on an inevitable path toward higher prices. As he said, crypto is going twice the speed of the internet in terms of adoption, so it's the fastest adoption of any technology in any asset class the world has ever seen. Even Bitcoin halving is considered a catalyst for the asset, and typically BTC price rallies towards a new all-time high within 12 to 18 months of the event. Well, Saylor is selling their shares. MSTR price is down nearly 25% in the past month. Michael Saylor, the executive chairman of MicroStrategy, has sold 370,000 shares of the business intelligence firm, according to recent filings. The sale amounts to over $370 million, and the executive's Class A holdings are now down to 30,000 shares as of Thursday. This latest Bitcoin halving has occurred amid a new era, for the leading digital asset, and also the wider crypto market, as newly realized institutional interest recently pushed Bitcoin to a record price of $73,570. Now, most major digital assets have seen growth alongside Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, though the market has receded in the last 7 days. Well, if you liked this interesting video, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that you can stay tuned for the latest updates. We'll catch you soon. Goodbye for now.